Okay, the subs are in the box. The bottom ones are mounted. They're not going. Okay, the subs are in the box. The bottom ones are mounted. They're not going nowhere. The top ones, they're not mounted yet. I need to put some gaskets on these woofers. I didn't really pay attention to the fact that it's metal to plastic, so they all kind of got to come back out. Put my laser cut cork gaskets that I'm going to make back in there, and then put them in. Of course, I got wiring to do. You can see I started it on the bottom three. I got a lot more ahead of me to go. Hey, what's up? What's up, you guys? So moving on to some more cool stuff. Made a few changes to the amp rack. As you saw in the previous videos, has some of these connectors on there. Who remembers when I talked about this a couple of videos back? I was trying to explain that. I'm trying to fix this window real quick. I was trying to explain that they're not going to stay like this, so here we go. And by the way, how do I sound compared to the actual video itself? I'm going to try not to talk over the video because I know that's annoying. I found out the hard way when I went and rewatched one of my live streams. So is my voice coming through okay? Is the actual sound in the video too low or too high? Adapters. But this little radius right here is a little aggressive. It looks good, I like it, but it comes out too far and it takes away space that I need, valuable space. It hits a seat and it chews up about 2 inches that I need. So instead of these, which stick straight out, and it means I have to turn a 180-degree corner. How about now in the video? And my buddy Tom from Fast Precision make me these little 90s. So a little bit different. But of course, you know, these aluminum ones are just for practice. We got copper. Damn, look at that. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Kong. You're the man. I appreciate you, dude. Fast Precision, Sacramento, California. You want the best, you know who to get a hold of. So anyhow, let's put these things in there and see what a difference they make as far as bending the block with that big, thick-ass wire. Now you might be wondering, why did I jump straight from the box right back to the amp rack in the same video? Well, the answer to that is when I first fire this box up and I test it and I play with it and I see what it's going to do, I'm going to be playing off of this amp rack, not an amp on the bench like I typically would. There's no sense of putting an amp on that test bench when I've got 4 of them sitting here pre-wired on lithium batteries ready to go right now. So I'm just kind of staying quiet right now, letting the video do the talking. If you guys have any questions about anything that you see here, I'll try to get to them as soon as my other person, me, is done talking. Because like I said, I was talking over the video before in previous videos, and it's like me and me talking at the same time, and it's super annoying. But what I'm saying in this video is relevant to what's going on, because I talked about these connectors. If you look at these wires, they're bending 180 degrees back into another connector. And I mean, it looked cool at first, but I wasn't really liking it. Plus, they were hitting the seat, and it just didn't look as good as it did when I first did it. So these projects, sometimes you start working on them, and you're right in the middle of it, and you're like, I wish I would have done it that way. So you start pulling it apart and start doing it that way, because sometimes it can be a little too late, and right now is the time while this thing is still sitting on the bench. So Larry P, no, the acrylic doesn't affect the output. The acrylic sounds just fine, sounds good. As long as your box is proper and it's not leaking, it can be made out of just about anything. So the acrylic flexing affect the output? Okay. For some reason I thought you were just talking about the acrylic itself. So if you build a box made out of acrylic and it flexes, yes, it'll probably affect the output. My boxes don't do that. So yeah, my boxes don't flex. So I'm gonna have to modify these little bottom guys real quick. I'm gonna have to cut the wires so they come straight down. And a fan knot, yes, they do. If you build a proper acrylic box, it will hold up over a long period of time with hardcore beating. I mean, I'll put a properly built acrylic box up against a wood box any day. Well, maybe not a I mean, it'd be about the same as a is Baltic birch or something like that. So hold on 1 second here. Yeah, shut the door. Okay, we're babysitting dogs, and we got extra dogs up here, so they're getting a yelling at upstairs. I heard them. They're probably out of control. My grandpuppies. It's chaos up here right now. So, anyways, back to what I was talking about. The acrylic should be just fine. If you properly build it, it'll last a lifetime. From there, I'll be ready to start messing with the woofers again. And I have one more little surprise. A little something that Audio Control did for me. It's a one-off, so if you want one, don't be bugging them about it. Get out your rattle can and make you one. But check this out. You're going to love this. That is, if you're into this build the way I am. If you don't know anything about this build, you probably ain't going to love it. You probably ain't going to care. But check this out. If you followed this entire build, you know that one kid is doing his own thing. And that's this Audio Control DM810. It's an amazing processor, but the color just doesn't match. Black, so that's okay. I can leave it like that. But a little something just showed up in the mail. Oh yeah. Who remembers this? Look at that. Powder coated and re-silk screen. One of one. White DM810 cover. I gotta put this thing on. Much better. Watch this. Much better. And that is 2-watt Sky High OFC cable, by the way. Shout out to Sky High Car Audio, the best wire. That's all I run in all my builds. So as you can see, these are going to be much, much nicer. Something like that right there. Okay, so if you were here while I was showing the live Ask Me Anything edition of the amp rack being built, if you look right there, you see on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side where these wires, they dip underneath the amp. Now, if you were to go back and look at those videos where we talked about that, that's what all those little channels were for in the clear acrylic. So this is sitting on HDPE, clear acrylic over HDPE with white behind it, and that is there to help it glow and to help. Well, I don't really want the amp sitting on top of my wires and crunch down. So see that right there? Much cleaner, much cleaner. See the way all this stuff just dives underneath the bottom and disappears? Much better, much better. What you guys know about this? A little nicer than that big 180-degree turn off. Hey, sometimes you don't know what you're doing until you start doing it. Hey, thank you, fan or not. Yes, someday I'd like to build a new box for the Tahoe, yes. I don't know what I want to do yet. Alright, part of me just wants to leave it the way it is and leave it for nostalgia. It still works. And so my question to you guys would be... excuse me, my question to you guys would be, what would you rather hear? If you got a chance to hear the Tahoe for your first time ever, what would you rather hear? The system in it now, the way that it's always been, the way that you've probably seen it for years on YouTube, working, playing, bumping, just the way it is, or have me rip it all out and put something new in there and make it even better than it is right now? Or would you like to someday hear for yourself what all the hype was about? I mean, let me know in the comments what you think about that, because part of me, I mean, I'm not even really down with the brand that's in the car anymore. I mean, I don't even want any of that in my car anymore. You know, in the Tahoe, I want to take all that shit out. But part of me just wants to leave it in there because it all works and it's a masterpiece. So, I mean, decisions. So, I don't know. I kind of just want to leave it like a museum piece, already ready to go at all times, just the way it is. But anyways, more fun stuff in the future. I agree, Czar Mama. Do a full Moscone build in the Tahoe. I don't know about all that. I heard it's nice equipment though, but I don't. Yeah, no. I would do it. I would do something else. You guys would see. You guys are gonna see real soon what I'm talking about. Look at the way those go in there. These are basically one-offs. We can make more of them, but I needed them for this build, and my buddy made them for me. Just Chris. I'm gonna try to answer this before my guy starts talking again. I used a Nav TV GM650. I've done a lot of budget builds. What are you talking about? Under 5K. Whoa, what is going on here with all these gifted memberships? Cool. I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. Look at that. 1 of 1. I also got the white guts for it too. I think I put them on later. So the front part is going to be white as well. Got the blocks in. Got a lot less of a turn. Straight down in. Looks a lot cleaner. Buys me my space back. And of course, we got the frosty white audio controlled DN. Hey, shout out to Finny Golf. And of course, there's this. I don't know what you just did, but you looks like you gifted a bunch of stuff to a bunch of people. I don't know if it's money. I don't know if what the membership even means, but whatever you gave them, that's pretty cool. And here I go again. I'm down here talking to the mic. There's a mic in front of me, and I'm talking to it like you guys are in the mic. I need to be looking up at the camera and talking. Yeah. Anyways, let's go. Look at the way this thing is turning out, you guys. If you watched the amp rack build while I was doing it, then it's all starting to come together and make sense. Everything I've been talking about for the last couple of streams. Oh, yeah. Next, I got wiring on the box. I'm going to test all this stuff right here on the bench. Make sure it's all playing right. And then we'll start bringing it over to the caddy once and for all. I had something better in mind if I were to redo the Tahoe than that. Alright, so what you guys are about to see here is some homemade gaskets getting made because the subwoofer is sitting on top of the acrylic. Those are metal baskets. And when you have metal baskets sitting on top of acrylic, you could get leaks. So, you know, I own like several lasers. And it's nice and convenient for me to go ahead and make my own gaskets on the spot. I have the material because we use it for our SMD products. This is some cork, some 3M backed adhesive peel away. Damn, I'm talking to the mic again. Talk to the camera, dummy. Anyways, this is some 3M cork gasket stuff with a back peel paper. No, ignore that box in the middle. That was something else that we made. Okay, so do you see the fine little details? If you look, there's even a notch on this gasket. A little small notch that's probably 0.02 wide. And that's to help with when you put the terminals in. I don't want it to get snagged. Pretty sure that's why I did it. Let's give that a try. Can you guys see the notch? Probably not. Tyler, yep. I do have some projects in the near future. I'm waiting for something to pop off. As soon as it does, then I'm going to do some cool stuff. There's the notch. Oh yeah, thanks bud. Gonna need 3 more then though. Oh yeah, he's gonna work good. Ignore that sound in the background. Those are my machines running. So all them glorious SMD products that you see and all these cool builds and my own stuff, it's getting made over there right now. What's my favorite old school subwoofer? It's hard to say. I mean, I got a lot of them. Definitely the Soundstream, the Pros. That'll work. Got 3 more over there cooking, just in case I need them, but I'm gonna fire it up and see if these things even leak before I even worry about any of that. And it's time to start thinking about pre-wiring these subs too. Get them ready for the terminals. Why would I, Chester, the sub, I'm never taking those SMDs out of the Tahoe. There's no, unless we do another SMD. Those V2s are the best subs I've ever had. And, as long as they're alive, they're gonna stay in the Tahoe for sure. Hey, what up, Shannon? How's it going, man? Hey, Lay Torabella, thank you, man, appreciate it. Lee, I don't know if I said it right, Lay, sorry. Cam Klingen. I don't know what the best DSP is because there's a lot out there that I haven't used yet. I've used a lot of DSPs, so but I can't say what's the best. There's lots of great ones. All right, Lee. Sorry about that, brother. Have I used mini DSP? No. What's that? Is that a name brand? Chewy, good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they can, but they're from a faraway land, so I don't know what getting parts would be like. Hopefully I would never have to recone these. Yeah, these things go in there so tight that that little knot, there's a notch in the acrylic and a notch in the gasket, just to get by those terminals. There's no super caps in the Escalade. Hey, why all the B2 stuff now? Why not? Why not? I like it. Alright, all I got left to do is hook this up and the terminal cup. Gang of wires hanging out. Each one of these woofers is in parallel and then seriesed back to 1.5 ohms per set. Best way to achieve that is going to be with this SMD DCL 4.2. This makes my life easy. From there, it's going to go to this terminal cup. And then from there, this box is going to be wired up, ready to play. See, this product right here, the DCL 4.2, I don't know how many of you guys have ever seen or actually bought and used a DCL 4.2. It's a very simple product. It's very, very well put together, you know, because our stuff is real nice. But it's a simple concept, and it really helps you with your wiring, especially if you're doing a lot of series parallel stuff, and if you have a lot of subs and a lot of coils going to one spot. I use this thing in way more builds than I ever thought I would. So the DCL, it's the direct connect. That's what it stands for, direct connect. It's for subwoofers with the direct connect leads. So when you run your wires over, you don't have to cut them. and it was originally made for those type of woofers. These are not direct lead subwoofers, but the DCL was originally made for that. So you have your $1,200 18-inch subwoofers, and they come with just wires, 8 gauge. You don't want to be cutting those off to whatever size, because as soon as you start doing that, the shorter you get, the less. Those are basically your tinsels. Well, they're not your tinsels, but you know what I mean. They're your terminals. Once you get to a certain point, they're done. So I designed that so you could run your wires to these, and then run all your stuff to these instead of to your coils and having to cut them all the time. But it works out for series paralleling a lot of stuff too, as you'll see here. So there's 2 rows of 3 6/12s, 2 rows of 3 12s to make 6 total. I'm sorry, and your impedance has to be right when you're all done. Of course, they're tapped and threaded, and Allen bolts are used to hold all this stuff in. I don't think, other than Bobby Gately, I've really collaborated with anybody, have I? I don't know. Have I? And he's not a big YouTuber, but he's a great builder. We're starting to get a nice little footprint on the internet right now. No, sir, I'm in California. Can you guys hear me over this video? Okay, thank you. Sounds good. See, look at this. Oh, you know what? I miss this stuff right here. It's so satisfying when that nice little Allen bolt goes straight in there like that. That's all mounted in. Some 832 Allen head bolts, stainless. Little miniature versions of the bigger ones I'm using. And we got a DCL 4.2. It's time to clean these wires up. This is not going to be fun. Yeah, you do have to be careful with the drill, because the number one thing that'll happen when you're after you drill your holes and then you go to tap them, for me the number one thing that happens isn't the acrylic breaking. This stuff's 1 inch thick, so it's gonna be really hard to break it. But like your tap, if your tap starts binding up while you're doing it, you ain't getting it back out. It's gonna be in there for life. And I think this box might have there might be a tap broken off somewhere where there should be a bolt that nobody can see. You know what I mean? If you can come over, if you come visit me one day and you find it, it'll be a miracle. But yeah, the tap will definitely, that's why I use WD-40. It helps out a little bit. If the hole, your pilot hole that you're using for the tap isn't correct, the chance of that thing binding up and snapping is pretty high. So yeah, that's the main thing right there. Yep, sky high. Hey, there's a lot of work involved in this, you guys. It's so much work. And on top of that, I'm filming everything while I'm doing it. Motion detected at the front door. How many of you guys heard just now that somebody's at my front door? It's actually dogs. My property is gated, so we don't randomly have people coming up to my front door. You know, I keep the speed of the drill like just normal. You just got to keep a straight hand. If you use the wrong type of bit, it can be messy. I like to use acrylic bits when I can. Bits that are made for it. Okay, so follow me here. Are you guys able to read that? Those words are in the way up there, but the subs are wired up like this. Positive from sub 1 to the terminal cup. Channel 1 positive. Well, you know, that's a lot of stuff to pay attention to right there. You would have to take a picture of it and try to try to make sense of it all. It all makes sense, but without staring at it, it's kind of hard. But yeah, basically, that DCL 4.2 is making all this happen. So when this is all said and done, out of 6 subs, I'm gonna have 2 nice channels that are ready for the bass amps. Will 1 ohm load be hard on a 1 ohm rated amp? I don't see why it would.
So 3 subs are hooked up. The last 3 getting ready to go to the terminals right now. It's too much of a mess for anybody to really understand what I'm doing.
Okay, now if you look real close in here, you can see the spring terminals for these speakers on each side. I brought the wires in and popped them out into the back side of those spring terminals instead of the front, so they don't loop around and then go into the woofer. They go into the basket and then pop out the back. So you really, I mean, you can see that there's a wire there, but they're not really visible at the speaker itself. See that right there? What do I do with my old amp? What old amp? I got a lot of them. I put them in the boneyard and stare at them and think to myself, why do I do this? Yeah, I can't stop. I'm a hoarder. What a beautiful thing. A nicely tapped hole in acrylic. It's just a beautiful thing with a stainless bolt. Nice little trim ring, little beauty ring. I've done giveaways in the boneyard before. I kind of stopped doing it because I never get, whenever I give something away and I think I'm going to make somebody happy, I mean, I've given more stuff away than anybody ever has on YouTube in the past. I just slowed down on it a lot because, you know, if I give somebody something, I would just love to see them use it. It's like, one minute I have a 2500 watt amp and I'm so happy to make someone's day and give it to them, and then I send it away and then I never hear another word again. Like, oh man, I got the amp and it bumps and I love it. I never hear none of that. I never hear a thank you. Oh man, this thing is, no, I don't even hear it. It's in my closet. I don't even want to go in someone's closet. I want to go in someone's car, but you know, I never get a thank you or anything. So one minute I have a 2500 watt amp, the next minute I don't. And there's not even a thank you involved. It's like, why wouldn't I just keep the amp? It's not like it makes or breaks my channel to give things away, because it just never really has. It was a good thing for my channel a little bit, but not so overwhelmingly that it makes or breaks anything. That's right, downhill. Yes, sir. What y'all know about this crimper? That was a nice little treat I bought myself, aka write-off for the company. It was a great write-off too. Nah. You know what? I didn't need to use the spacers on the top for any kind of symmetry because you can't even tell if they're there. When you open up that Escalade right now and you look, you can't even tell they're there. So I get what you're saying, but all that's going to do is raise the woofers up even higher, which I didn't really want to do to begin with. So I did it out of necessity. Hey, what up, DC Audio? Thank you. Tyler, I would love to move to a bigger shop. Someday I will. I would love to. You don't use glue. Wait a minute, hold on. You don't use glue for acrylic boxes. Don't they morph the corners with heat? Morph the corners with heat. Sorry, I don't get what you're saying, but no, I don't use glue for acrylic boxes. I use acrylic solvent. So basically, once that is bonded with this stuff, it's like one. That seam is going to be stronger than the actual acrylic itself. You just, hey, use that vise. Use the vise. It's going to be trash, but it'll get the job done. Yep, Brando still has all the stuff in his truck. All the original stuff is still there. Working perfectly. So here's the beauty of the SMB Terminal X2 terminal block and all the ones that are similar to it. If you guys look, you'll see that the back side of this terminal and the front aren't affected by each other at all. So you could take these speakers off, these wires off, put them on 100 times, and it's not going to make the back ones move. If you do the old nut and bolt through the box trick, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, it'll get you by. More than likely, I'm the one that taught you how to do that to begin with, so I'm not really totally against that. But the problem is that once you loosen, if you unscrew those bolts a couple times, you look inside your box, and those wires inside have been twisting and moving, and they're not where they're supposed to be anymore. This type of terminal right here completely eliminates that. So there's no nut on top of a nut and then tighten it down when you're done type of thing. This is what you get right here. I mean, I love them. I run these terminal cups on my own projects, or else I wouldn't even make them. Hey, thank you, King. Diva, email us at sales@wccaraudio.com. We'll talk about it. We'll get you taken care of. Run on PHX. Thank you. Nothing new on the Ford, but I want to. Well, we're going to. I have things to do, yes. I'm just overwhelmed with the shop and how much work we have to do all the time. It's hard for me to do stuff, but I'm definitely getting back on that. I just finished KK's. Acetone isn't going to weld these together. Solvent will.
Alright, this thing's wired up. We're going to give it a little test fire. See how it sounds? I got exactly 1.5 ohms on each one of these terminals, so it's perfect. And These 1500.2s are rated for 2 ohms bridge, so that's less than it's supposed to be, but it should be okay, maybe. All right, here we go. Turn that all the way down in case something crazy happens. And we got a little bit of DJ Billy E.
We got some Deftones in the corner too. Who spies the Deftones?
We got a
Oh,
big
yeah.
audio 3-way set sitting right there.
Don't mind how the mids and highs are sounding a little bit not super sound quality in this video. It's just speakers sitting on the desk or on the test bench. Right now I'm getting ready to test the box, but the speakers are just sitting on the test bench wide open, so you know they don't sound they do sound awesome now that they're in the caddy, but at the time they're just on the bench, so I don't want to hear about it. So I'm not trying to hear about it. They don't sound good because they do. Okay, let's go. Sorry about that. Let's go. Yeah. Notice all the needles moving at their own pace. They're all doing different things. I love my amp rack. I really do. If you build something and you don't love it. Okay, now look real close. See the terminals where I was talking about bringing the wires from the backside? I just thought that gave it a lot cleaner of a look. You can't really see any of them. I mean, you can see them. You know they're there, but they're tucked away. Hey, Kit Kat, thank you. Appreciate it. Holler at us if you ever have any issues. We're there for you. Hopefully you won't, but if you do, man, let us know.
Add some mirrors and some LEDs to this box, make it really pop, and I can start thinking about bringing it over to the Escalade. But for now, that's it. We're wired up, we're fired up, we're playing, and it's all good. Yeah.
Whatever happened to my T4000s? I still have like 4 of them. Oh, here we go. Now it's time for some mirrors. Now we're going to take this clear acrylic box and give it some mirror action. Okay, so the reason why I did mirrors on this box on the inside instead of just keeping it totally clear, which is awesome too, I did the side panels and the bottom because obviously when I look into my clear acrylic box, I don't need, once I do the trim work, I got some deer running around on the property. I'm getting an alert by my cameras down there. So when you look in the box, once it's all done, you don't really want to look through the sides and see like my side panels of the Escalade. My original side panels where the AC is on the right and that little pocket for the emergency jack on the left, whatever's over there. So the sides, I got my hands over here. There we go. The sides, they end up getting mirrors, and then the bottom, because when you look at your nice acrylic box, you don't really want to look through and see where you took your third row seat out, like the carpet's got like holes missing. So the rest of the box is still clear acrylic, but the mirrors also help it to give it this cool illusion. When you look in there, you see more woofers than there really is, and then the LEDs also shine off of it. So it's a win-win, really. But here we go. We're going to take that clear acrylic box that I love and make it even better right now. What's up, Sanyik from Hungary? Okay, so what you're seeing here is this red acrylic tape that I use. It's 3M. I forget what it's called, the actual name of it. We sell it on my website too. But this clear tape right here is double-sided. It looks pink because the plastic the backing hasn't been taken off of it yet. But when it comes to bonding some things like mirror, I don't really want to put the mirror on there and try to bond it with chemicals, because it's just going to ruin the mirror and it's going to look like trash and the whole box will be completely ruined. So I'm using this clear double-sided tape to hold the mirrors on. And this tape is made for acrylic. So if you put a piece of this in between two pieces of acrylic, it's basically going to be like that for life. It is not going to come apart. It's really good stuff. So you see me putting tape, don't just learn from me. It's good. If you ever need to use it, just learn from me. You can use tape. You can use bonding solvent. It just depends on the situation. The acrylic is CBD. The acrylic is 1 inch thick. Everywhere. Yeah, you can't even see it either. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yep. Try not to get no damn handprints on it. Nope, I don't got no rattle Shannon at all. Now this is some precision, eagle eye. Now when you watch this, keep in mind, there's reasons for everything. If you have any questions, just remember there's a reason for almost everything. There's a couple things I'm like, why in the hell? But for the most part, I have my reasons. Now you guys gotta wait. You guys gotta see what this looks like. If you have never seen it yet, wait till you see what the mirrors look like in there. Again, I apologize for the noise. The CNC machine's always running. Hey, there's Baby. Baby! #1 shop dog. Hit like if you know who Baby is. Oh, there's Sunshine. Now, it might seem counterproductive to build a clear acrylic box and then put sides on it that you can't see through, but if this box was sitting in my living room, or like if I had a stereo shop and it was out on the out on the showroom floor and it was being like a showpiece, I wouldn't put the mirrors on it because then you can see everything. But I have to think about what's going to happen when it gets in the vehicle. So once it's inside the caddy, I have to remember, like I said, I don't want to look through the sides. You're not going to be able to see through the side anyways from that angle because it's in the truck. But when I look through the box, I don't want to see my old air conditioning stuff or the plastic panels. You know, the trim work is going to hide all that, and then you look through and you see it all. So it's strategic. It's things you got to think about when you're doing these builds. Why is that in 360? Damn. Is that video in 360p the whole time? Oh my god. How terrible am I of a live broadcaster? You guys can remind me if it looks grainy. Hopefully you can see what's going on in 360 good enough. I think this video isn't 360, but the video I'm showing you was. God damn it.
You're gonna go on that side with it. Ready? Go.
I apologize for that 360 segment, but we're going to run 2 videos tonight. We're going to run one right after this, so it'll be more clear.
Alright. Thank you. Okay.
Hey, thank you, PHX channel. You know what? You're looking at it right now, Zar Bomba. This is the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna kind of hang it without sticking the whole thing. Put yourself pretty much right in that corner. Should be something like that. Huh? So there's a reason why I didn't take this all the way to the edges, and that is because when the LEDs get ready to get put on here in a little bit, they're going to be in that spot where the rest of that edge would have been up until the chamfer on the edge. Obviously, I can't put it on the chamfer, but all the LEDs go around all these mirrored panels, and that's how they're going to get held in, and it creates like it's only 1/8 of an inch, but it creates a little bit of a channel for those LEDs. It weighs more than 500 pounds. Those subs they're easily over 100 pounds a piece by themselves. So we're looking at about 800 pounds here or more.
Look like from this side. Oh yeah. Cool.
I don't have any thoughts on that subwoofer yet. I've never seen it. I never held one. I never played with it. I wish I did. I'd tell you if I did. See, like I said, there's a reason for everything, you guys. When you don't see me taking that mirror all the way to the edge, you're wondering why. This is why. Forsaken. Nope, the box does not flex at all. If it did, that would be not very good on me. So this right here is some 16th inch white HDPE type of material that I had. There's actually a slip sheet that came from underneath a pallet from other material that I bought, and I trimmed it up on the laser, and I'm covering the LEDs up, and then I'm gonna use I think I used white gaffer's tape. I'm not sure. It's gonna show here in a minute to hold those in the rest of the way, so it's nice and tidy and clean.
On this side? Okay, pull forward. Ready? Ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got it. Okay, nice and slow. Nice and slow.
Ooh, look at this box.
There we go, guys.
Hey, hit like if you would run this box in a heartbeat. I know I would.
Okay.
And I do.
Good.
So we're gonna run one more video after this, because we're gonna load it up. But this is what we're looking at so far. All right, one last thing before I end this video and move on to something else. As you saw, I changed out this white cover. I love it. I'm looking at the black guts, and I'm like, okay, that still matches everything, black, white, everything else. I didn't know that. Was in the box. In the box too. I didn't know that was in there. It was at the bottom. I just found it. So guess what? I'm gonna put that on there. I gotta complete the look. I do like the white with the black, so I'm not against it. But they did this, and I'm gonna put it on. Audio control, DM810. So hang tight for the next video, which this is almost over. We're going to run the second video. We're going to pop it into the Escalade. You'll be able to see a lot better what's going on. But Audio Control only did one of these for me. So shout out to Audio Control for doing that. Other people called and tried to get one and they wouldn't do it. So yeah, how do you like me now? Oh, just kidding. Not really. But you know what? I could probably do something pretty cool with my lasers with one of these.
Much better.
Yeah, it is much better.
Look at that thing. Beautiful.
One of one. Look at the difference, you guys.
This thing's beautiful inside and out. I think I actually like the white better than the black now that I look at it.
It's perfect.
So there it is. The way it's supposed to be. The DM810. All white, looking all right. Matches really nice. And with that, we are on to the next stage. Stay tuned and see what that next stage is. I'm out of here.
All right, you guys, let's run the next video. See it up in the caddy. Don't go nowhere. We're staying. We're staying. Who's staying with me? Who's riding with me? Let's go. I got it all queued up and ready to go already. All right. All ready to go. When will I be giving demo? I've given a few demos. I just don't run into people like that anymore. Well, I mean, when I see people, if somebody wants to hear the caddy, I'll be glad to give them to them, for sure. Caddy sounds good. But, you know, the one thing about it is, and shout out to Second Skin, by the way, they're on the screen right now. My favorite sound ending. The thing about the caddy is I did all this work. It sounds great. It bumps. But it's not a 6th order wall or a 4th order wall or a flat panel wall. It's not, I mean, I currently own 2 vehicles with walls, so I'm not a wall hater at all. I had walls before they were even called walls in my car. I was riding around bumping with 415s in what was called a wall before it was a wall. I don't even know what we called it before. So I'm not a hater. But you take the caddy to a show and you're surrounded by 6th order bandpass walls, which are fucking amazing, and I love them. It's just that the caddy doesn't compare to that when it comes to like the type of wind that those things can make. So it's, to me, it's not as fun. So I love it for my daily. I built it for my daily, for my purposes, and there's no way you would get in it and not at least think that it sounded pretty damn awesome. But compared to, like, you know, some of those monster builds, I mean, it just does, it's not in the same class. No, I don't use none of that SSA shit. Term Lab. Car stereo isn't as popular as it used to be. Not even close. Hold on a second here. For a second, I'm just gonna stop right now. I totally disagree. Car audio is as big as it's ever been. It may not be to you. Maybe you lost interest. Maybe you moved away to where other people don't know nothing about it. But in my world, I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't love a great system. Ending I'm doing in this truck. There's going to be a lot more going in the doors and other places more towards the front. But since I know once this big humongous box goes in here, it ain't coming back out for a while. I want to make sure I get that pan. All those mirrors are going to make sense. So that it's all nice and denned out. I'll do a little bit on the side. I got to make sure I stop talking while I'm talking. So I don't mean to do that. I hope I didn't mess the video up too bad. But those mirrors that I put in the box in the last segment are going to make sense here in a second. Now, if you see the panel that my hand is on right now, you'd be able to see that once I put the box in, if I didn't do the mirrors. And if you look at the bottom, you can see where like the little clamps are, where the third row used to be. You'd see all that. So, I mean, either I put the mirror on the box itself the way I did it, or I put the mirror in the vehicle somewhere. And putting it on the box was actually the best way I could think of to do it. Too as well, the spots that I'm not going to be able to get to for a long time unless I pull the box back out, and I don't really plan on it. So, carpet, a little bit of plastic, some Second Skin Damp Pro, and then it'll be time to put the box back in there. As soon as I do that, it'll be time to play it. I'll finally get to hear it. Now, if you go back a couple videos, you guys can see the amp rack build that's in there right now. The actual build from scratch with acrylic, all the way from using 4x4s to prop it up and see how I wanted it to look. That is 4/aught sky-high cable sitting right there, running into the block, running into the back to the block, and then from there it's all 2/aught. God, it's a brutal sound always. Every single clip is still in here though. Glad to see they improved that, I guess, since the 2001 Tahoe. But I'm not an installer every day, so I don't know if they really did improve them or if I got lucky. But they're all still there. John, it's 1,000 horsepower on the Caddy. 900 to the wheels.
Turbo. We've got Aaron Lewis taking over tomorrow.
Hey, Richard Martin, thank you. Appreciate you. See, these are all the little things that have to get done before the box goes in. This part didn't really vibrate too much back there anyways. I didn't need a lot. It's the principality of the situation.
Compared to what it was. With all the second skin done, this thing's ready to drop. Got some loose wires still, of course. They're gonna be nice once they're in there. This is what we're looking at right now. Lots of fun.
Now, a lot of the stuff you see me doing, I'm by myself at 5 o'clock in the morning at the shop. I'm an early bird. I mean, it may not necessarily be 5 right here. I don't know if it is, but a lot of times it is. Did you guys hear that? We're gonna run that back one more time. Tell me that wasn't some sick ass shit. No, I go in early and I leave early. I go in early in the morning, but I'm out of there before 2 most days. I like to have the rest of my day still. I will stay longer if I need to. Sam, what parts of the car for big systems do I mean, anything that's a problem.
Second skin is in. All we have left is the box. If I want to hear this thing playing today, I'm gonna have to slap it in.
Yeah, the roof, like Matt said, the roof is your #1 problem in these SUVs. Side panels, doors. I do have some on the doors. I didn't do any on the hatch yet in this video, but I did do the hatch a little bit later after the build was done. So the hatch, the roof, doors, and then run around and try to find all your problem areas and hit them.
Here we go. Oh yeah, we're almost there.
No, that wasn't an LFA. That's
So I
funny.
did almost all this stuff by myself without the forklift. Now I need a little bit of help. Just for that last couple inches to get it in. It's hung up on something. So that's what we're gonna do.
How many batteries are in this system? There is 5 excess power S7 14 volt Titan 8 batteries, and in the front there's a Titan 8 12 volt battery. So there's 2 voltages in this car, in this vehicle, which we're going to go over on the next stream. So the next stream coming up is all the voltage and all the batteries. If you guys want to see it, we'll run them. I'm not going to do it today, but we'll run it soon. So that's a whole nother miracle in itself. Masterpiece. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece for my abilities. Hey, what up, Sonya? Good night. I didn't know you were in here. If you were talking and I didn't hear you or see you, I apologize. But good night.
Starting to think I should have done it like this the whole time.
Hey, I could pick up a dime with my forklift. You like those extendos? Those extendos cost me $250 over at the forklift place. Best $250 I ever spent in my life.
It's in there. All right, it's all working. Let's take a look at it.
Christopher, there's one alternator in here, but it's one 400 amp MechMan. What tires do I have to support all the weight? In this video, they're Pirelli 295 25 28s, and they're supporting the weight just fine. On some fucking 4 Giottos, goddammit. And now, as of right now, I got some new 4Gs on this truck, and they're also 28s, but I had to get the Lexani tires because they don't make the Pirellis anymore. The Lexanis are cheap compared to the Pirellis, but hey, they work and they're holding up. They're holding air, so whatever. Nope, no upgrades to the suspension at all. It's got factory air ride in the back, air leveling.
So as you can see, it's not too obtrusive. It's just right there at the hatch line, which isn't super bad. Maybe about a little bit taller than the hatch, but not much. I got all the trim work to do, which I've already cut it. I sort of already got an idea how I'm gonna make it look real good, but I don't really hate it just the way it looks sitting here right now.
Downhill Daddy. No aftermarket stereo in the caddy. I tapped into the factory with the Nav TV GM650.
So let's ignore some of these wires for right now. This is my optical cable. It's sending signal to the audio control, DM810. That's gonna be tucked away real nice here soon.
Yeah, optical from the front.
Temporary wire right here for the step down box to keep it cool. That's about ready to get wired in. Number one priority was making this.
In other words,
and get it working. Now we can.
In other words, it's not done yet. What I'm trying to say in this video while I'm talking to you guys, it is done now as of me talking, but in this video it's not. That cable is just running from my Nav TV GM650. That's what takes that factory radio and gives you a clean signal out. It's got optical out, so from up front I got that Toslink cable going to the back. It's just running over the top to the amp rack because it's not done yet. This video you're looking at right here is still, everything's still being worked on. It's not done yet. So when it's all done, that wire is not going to be hanging over the seat or any of that stuff. So just want to make that pretty clear for those that don't know.
Start cleaning some wires up.
YB, it's a GM650 by Nav TV. Well,
Could use a little bit.
Devin Jones, the $400 on those Pirellis. I mean, that's a smoking deal because the 28s that were on here were like $700 a piece when I bought them, almost $800. So it's kind of a good thing that they went out. I mean, it's not. I wish they didn't go get discontinued, but the tires that you can't find a 28-inch tire that's not like an off-brand. It sucks. There's no good brand of 28-inch, 25 series 28-inch tire. So you got your Lexani and you got like Venom or whatever, like a couple other just weird brands, and they're not great. But honestly, for like $300 a tire, I think is what they were. They're holding up and they're not leaking. So just really no complaints. I guess if I ruin one, just it's easy to get another one.
Bit of soap and water on them handprints too.
Hey, thank you, Brass and Beards.
We got more work to do, but that's okay. We're on the right path. Yeah.
Now, if you guys hear distortion, if you're new to my channel and somehow you caught this stream and you've never been around here before, this shit is not distorting. It's distorting the camera a little bit, but it's not distorting in the vehicle at all. These amplifiers are, I mean, everything in here is great shit. And it's not fully tuned yet in the video, but it's not actually distorting in person. So, just want to clear that up a little bit. What up, car audio enthusiasts? Yeah! Yep, that box is not flexing at all, and it's not going to anytime soon. I've got sound quality builds already. I don't see the point in competing with it. So you compete with it just to have somebody tell you that there's something wrong with it that they don't like as a preference. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really. I think building an extremely awesome sound quality system is great, but I don't know about sitting in a parking lot and all day long and having somebody come and judge it. I don't know. Mine can be sound quality and have its little flaws that I don't know about, and I'll be just as happy. But I just always strive to make them sound as good as I can. And as somebody that knows more about me than sound quality gets in it and gives me a couple of tips and tricks, like some of my previous senseis that I've had, I'm all ears, and that's how I've gotten to where I'm at right now. I'm not just self-taught. I've learned from my senseis and gone to a lot of seminars and had a lot of people that know what they're doing, like really know what they're doing, teach me. And yeah, so I'm not the greatest and I'm not the worst either, but definitely you're not going to go to a sound quality contest and have 612s. More than likely you're not, but at the same time I can turn these 612s down and let my front end do all the talking, and it does. So the B2 Audio 3-ways up front, which we'll get into if you guys want to follow. We'll run all this stuff. We'll do Ask Me Anythings on all this stuff. I'm going to cut my door panels up and drop all those mids and highs in there, and you'll see for yourself. It's slopping, it sounds good. I got a lot of rattle on this hatch. You know I'm gonna have to come in with some more second skin. And I did later. And really get in there and reinforce it. But as far as everything else is concerned, it's all working. And for now, I'm out of here. Excited about this. Here we go. That's it, you guys.
She want the dopest of the dopest.
Thank you for joining me for the night. That was my 2 videos. Hey, I don't see any reason why we can't do this tomorrow also if I'm around. If you guys want to join me, we'll do more.
Always keep a thumper close, cause them suckers on their grind. Next see mine, I'm a diamond, they like glitter, how they shine. They want mine, cause that glitter fade with time.
Alright, you guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for joining me. We got some more Ask Me Anythings.